I remember asking the OB who had delivered my first child, right? I was so amazed, and I asked him, like, what do you think? Like, what do you know? You do this, right?
Mhm.
You're seeing this life created. And, and his thought was nothing. But I just marvel. I mean, I get to do this, but I just marvel at it. And I think the more we know about us, the more we respectfully marvel.
And we should do that. We should proactively marvel at every aspect, at every layer where the novelty emerges.
Yes. We'd be a lot less likely to say, hey, I don't like you because of something, whatever it is, race, religion, culture, sexuality, gender identity, whatever it is, or I want rights that you don't have, right? Or I want what you have, right? I mean, there's so much of this, and I understand it's driven by scarcity and by human insecurity and envy and all of these things that I think drive us towards destruction. But all of that recklessness comes from not having this initial appreciation and respect that you're referring to and just marveling at, like, wow, okay, we're here. That's amazing. Let's start with that.
But if we marvel at this whole thing, the human project, the human condition, all the different kinds of human beings that are possible, what do you then make of that some humans do evil onto the world? First of all, are all human beings capable of evil? If we're in the process, now we've got a little bit of momentum in terms of marveling at the
Yeah.
layers of the
Yeah.
cake. Should we also marvel at the capacity for evil in all of us? Is
Yes.
that capacity there?
I believe that it is. Yes.
So what do we understand about the psychology of evil? Where does that originate in the human mind? Is it there in the neurobiology? Is it there in the environment, in the upbringing?
Can I clarify first? I think the capacity for evil, I do believe, is in all of us. There's a difference between enacting evil and a sort of preset, followed, developed plan of evil, right? I don't believe that all of us are capable of doing what the people who perpetrate the most evil do, right? But I do believe that we're capable of perpetrating evil, right? And one thought would be that there are drives in us. I mean, there certainly seem to be drives in us towards survival, towards gratification, in some ways towards pleasure. And that can get very complicated because pleasure inside can be relief of distress. So if I feel very badly about myself and I can feel a little better about myself by making you feel worse about yourself, right? Which that plays out in a lot of human beings. Is that an indirect way of bringing pleasure, right? So it gets very complicated what's going on inside of us. And sometimes the perpetration of evil things can be through misunderstandings, anger, impulsivity. I mean, there are things that we can have in us, and other times there can be other things going on which are through the lens of unhealthy human psychology. So, for example, the psychology of envy, which I think drives the lion's share of the orchestrated evil, right? There's a difference between impulsive, reflexive evil and highly orchestrated evil, which I think is driven by envy.